Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. Say, what do you get when you cross Captain America and the Hulk? A Star-Spangled Banner! Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Legendary Marvel, Doctor Strange, and the Shadows of Nightmare from Upper Deck. Hello everybody, we'll get back to the review in just a second. I just want to take a moment to ask you to go ahead and check out and subscribe to my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about military history and books on history and fun things like that. Please check that out, please subscribe, and now, back to the review. In Legendary Marvel, Doctor Strange and the Shadows of Nightmare from Upper Deck, players are going to engage in the great contest of sorcery and skill, with Doctor Strange and his allies battling the evil forces of evil. Now, like most new Legendary sets, this particular expansion comes with some new keywords. Let's go ahead and take a look. Players in this set are able to engage in a demonic bargain. Now, some of the player cards will say things like demonic bargain. Now, what this means is you're being tested of whether you're being too arrogant. So if you go ahead and do something that triggers a demonic bargain, you go ahead and you look at the top card of your deck. If it is a 1 or less, then you are still humble and nothing happens. But if it is more than that, then you actually take a wound and you may have some other negative effects. But if you pass it, you may just gain some really cool abilities. Now, there's also a new concept called the astral plane. Now, the astral plane is a space just next to the villain deck, and essentially what it means is if a villain ever goes to the astral plane, then you have to fight them with recruit rather than attack. Now, here's the thing. There can only ever be one villain in the astral plane, so if ever another villain goes to the astral plane, if there is a villain in the astral plane, he immediately escapes. Like previous sets, this has artifacts. Artifacts, these are cards that you put in front of you, they stay in play. But you also have ritual artifacts that frequently can be discarded for certain advantages in gameplay. Now, the game comes with 5 new heroes, 2 villain groups, 2 masterminds, and of course 4 new schemes. So let's go ahead and take a look at those, starting with the heroes. You have Clea, and Clea's most powerful card is the Purple Gem. This is a ritual artifact with a cost of 7. It reads, if any cards were revealed, looked at, or discarded from any deck, you may discard the Purple Gem to gain +6 attack. You've also got Dr. Voodoo. Dr. Voodoo's most powerful card is a cost 7 card. It is Possessed by Brother's Spirit. Now, this card has a variable 0 recruit and a variable 4 attack. It reads, the first time that one of your heroes or a hero from your deck or discard pile is KO'd this turn, you get +4 recruit or +4 attack. You've got the Ancient One with the Orb of Agamotto as his most powerful card. The Orb of Agamotto is a cost 8 card. This too is a ritual artifact. It says, if you fought a villain or mastermind, you may set aside the Orb of Agamotto to reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. KO up to 1 of them, put 2 of them in your hand, and put the rest on top in any order. Then discard the Orb of Agamotto. You have the Vishanti. Their most powerful card is the Book of the Vishanti. The Book of the Vishanti is a cost 7 card. It too is a ritual artifact. If any player gained a wound, you may set aside the Book of Vishanti to KO up to 1 wound from any player's discard pile, then draw 3 cards. Then discard the Book of Vishanti. You can do this during any player's turn. And finally, the man himself, Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange's most powerful card is the Eye of Agamotto. It, too, is a ritual artifact with a cost of 8. It reads, if you played another artifact or 3 other cards of the same hero class, you may discard the Eye of Agamotto to get +7 attack. Now, as I say, you have 2 new villain groups. You have the Fear Lords and the Lords of the Netherworld. You also have 2 new masterminds. You have Nightmare. Nightmare always leads the Fear Lords, and his Master Strike ability is Nightmare enters the astral plane. If he was already there, each player discards a random card. Now, when you fight Nightmare in the astral plane, instead of revealing a tactic, you KO one of your heroes and Nightmare moves to the Mastermind space. If he escapes, each player KOs one of their non-gray heroes. Nightmare moves to the Mastermind space. You also have Doorman Ooh.
Dormammu always leads the Lords of the Netherworld. His Master Strike ability is each player makes a demonic bargain with Dormammu to discard down to 4 cards. And now let's take a look at some of those crazy schemes. First of all, you have Claim Souls for Demons. This has 8 twists. On twist 1 or 3, each player makes a demonic bargain to rescue a bystander. If that bargain wounds that player, stack the bystander next to the scheme as a tormented soul instead. On twists 4 through 8, each player makes a demonic bargain to gain a shield officer. If that bargain wounds that player, stack the officer next to the scheme as a tormented soul instead. Evil wins when the number of tormented souls is 4 times the number of players. You've got War for the Dream Dimension. Set up as 7 twists and you add an extra villain group. For twists, you reveal the top 2 cards of the villain deck. The villain you revealed with the highest printed attack value enters the astral plane. If you reveal the second villain this way, that villain enters the city. Put the rest of the revealed cards back in any order. Evil wins when there are 3 villains per player in the escape pile or the villain deck runs out. You have Cursed Pages of the Darkhold Tome. The setup is 11 twists representing cursed pages of the Darkhold Tome. You add an extra villain group. Now there is a special rule, cursed pages with ritual artifacts with, if you fought a villain or mastermind, you may discard this to get 3 recruit. Twist. Put this cursed page next to the mastermind, plus a cursed page from any player's control or discard pile or the KO pile. For this turn only, the first time you fight a villain or mastermind, put one of the mastermind's cursed pages into your discard pile. Evil wins when the mastermind has 7 cursed pages at the end of any player's turn or the villain deck runs out. Finally, there's Duels of Science and Magic. Setup: 2 players, 9 twists, 1 to 4 players, 10 twists, or 3 to 5 players, 11 twists. On twists 1, 3, and 5, Duel of Science. Each player reveals a tech or a ranged hero and discards down to 4 cards. If at least half of the players, rounding up, fail to reveal, put this twist next to the mastermind as a Duel 1. On twists 2, 4, and 6, Duel of Magic, same effect, but with instinct or covert. Twist 7 and 11, Duel of Science and Magic, same effect, but each player must reveal at least 3 of these colors: instinct, covert, tech, or range. Evil wins when the mastermind has won 5 duels. So that's basically what you get in this new set. Obviously, there's a lot of different cards for the heroes and the villain groups, but that is essentially what you're getting here. I've played this a few times now, played some of the different schemes, and so far I'm really liking this one. It's really cool how some of the new keywords, and I always say this with everything, how they can find ways to keep the game fresh and different and mix it up. And here with things like the astral plane, now that's, in and of itself, it sounds pretty simple. Well, you just put a guy here, but the fact of the matter is that idea that you have to now suddenly attack him with recruit, depriving you of stuff you can recruit from the HQ, while at the same time, if you don't recruit him, he's going to escape. It's going to trigger an escape effect. That's pretty freaking cool, and the idea that somebody can take his place in there, it's pretty cool. Also with Nightmare, when he can go the astral plane, that can be pretty scary. But also, too, the demonic bargain is fun. It's like a little mini game in it. Okay, I'm going to check my card, and oh, okay, I get a wound, I don't get a wound. I mean, that's a pretty fun little, not even really a mini game, but it's just kind of a little feature of a game that you feel like you're gambling a little bit there, and that's always a little fun twist to the game. By and large, the heroes are cool, and it's interesting here because the heroes, a lot of them don't have printed attack and recruit values. A lot of, especially their most powerful cards, don't have printed attack and recruit values. Instead, they've just got text, but those texts can be very powerful. They can give you some very, very powerful moments. It's fun seeing artifacts back. I really like artifacts, and the way they're handled here too, where you've also got the ritual artifacts, is pretty cool as well. Really enjoyed Doctor Strange and the Shadows of Nightmare. I thought it was a super fun addition to my Marvel game, and I will be playing this one again, I am sure. So recommendation for the discriminating gamer for Legendary Marvel Doctor Strange and the Shadows of Nightmare is buy it. Well, thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We ask you to please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. I'd also ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about history, military history, books on history, fun things like that. Please check it out, please subscribe, and please leave a thumb for this video on Board Game Geek as well. That really helps us out a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, some people say they simply cannot get to sleep after they drink coffee. Now, I am exactly the opposite. I can't drink coffee after I fall asleep. Please somebody help me on my feet again, and I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band. Hey, I'm just sitting here at my piano, and I wrote a little song for you guys. I'm not going to sing it because it's not very good.